Welcome, 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 welcome. It is Wednesday, 7:30. That means it's time for Three's Company Radio. Coming at you live from the Governor's Studios here in Levittown, New York at Governor's Comedy Club. I am Tony Landolfi, and as always, I am joined by the lovely Bonnie Scalisi and the lovely Mandy Jones. We've got a great show coming up tonight. Our very special guest, Mr. Darren Dillon, will be with us later. Ladies, how was the weekend? Mine was terrible. How was yours?
Oh, what was so terrible about it?
Saturday morning started off with me hitting the mother of all potholes on the LIE.
Oh, I saw that.
Let's relive it.
Popped both of my passenger side tires on my car.
Oh, fuck.
Luckily, I know somebody who's a fantastic auto mechanic.
All right.
Me. And I took care of it, no problem. Fixed that up. I figured, the day can't get any worse. Then I did the hell gig of all hell gigs.
Oh, no.
Saturday night with Terry McNeely, who, by the way, if you want to see him along with me and Bonnie and Mandy, next Friday, December 20th, the Little Room right here in Governor's. Go to govs.com for tickets. Make sure you specify you want to go to the Little Room show. Hope to see us all there. Anyway, we did a private party, Christmas party for some electric company, and it was horrible. Fighting for everything. One guy, he heckled me, so I hit him back, and then he told me he was going to eat my face.
Oh, my
So
God.
that was pretty, that was pretty, and if it was my younger days, I would have whooped his ass.
Oh, we have a phone call, right?
Let it ring, I don't care.
Call
If
back
it
in a
was-
couple of minutes,
Yeah,
please.
it's the opening. That's the one thing I hate about getting old, man. If it was Tony Landolfi 22 years ago, I would have took him out back and whooped his ass so bad.
Now it's just not worth it.
Well, now I'm just old, and I got tinnitus in both my elbows, and I can't, if it comes down to it and I really have to, I will. But then I just stab him, and that's it.
You always go with the weapon. You're
Yeah,
always
well-
just like, I'm going to stab him.
I'll stab him.
I had a
That's all.
great weekend.
Did you?
I did.
I hope it was great.
I had
Hope you
2
didn't
parties.
pop both your tires on the
Hope you didn't
biggest
pop any
pothole.
tires.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that. I had 2 parties back to back. Heather Learman, who was
Oh,
on
nice.
this show, she invited
Way
me
to rub
the
it in that
party.
we weren't invited, but thank you. Go on.
And then Chris Cuff, she invited
Also
me.
didn't invite me. Thanks a lot, Chris Goff. I hope you guys had
Well, that
fun.
was her dad's part. It was her dad's appreciation dinner party, like a Christmas
Oh, nice.
thing.
Nice.
And she got Joe DeVito to be the entertainment.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I got to
Really?
sit next to Joe for dinner,
Awesome.
and my boyfriend was on the other side of me.
Oh, so you were
So
on cloud nine.
I had a great time. And then Joe went up, did his 25 minutes, and it was really, really cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Was he the only guy that performed?
Yeah.
That's
even,
cool.
Even Chris didn't do anything. I thought at least she would do something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was just the DJ, and then they shushed everybody. There was like gambling tables and all kinds of things to do. They had to get everybody back to their seats, and then he did his 25 minutes, and then they did more gambling, and it was at the
More drinks?
the Marriott in Melville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Nice.
And then
awesome.
it was yesterday. I had a great time at Coasters with Mandy.
Oh yeah, that was a
Did you
good
guys
time.
have fun?
We did.
Oh my God! So Bonnie's boyfriend, guess
He
he's
looks
a
like
leg
Steven
guy.
Spielberg.
I guess
Steven
he's a leg
Spielberg.
guy because he tried to take a picture of us, but he was crouching down,
Oh God, it was awful.
and he's like, "I'm trying to get the legs." We're like, "Clearly, you're trying to get her legs." We're like, "Can you do an aerial? Like, we're not trying to have like 10 chins." Like, and he's literally
boyfriend?
My new boyfriend.
Yes.
Well,
He's a perv.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so is Bonnie.
I am.
I've heard the stories.
Stop.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Do we let Dennis through?
Hello.
Hello,
Oh,
guys.
I knew it was
geez,
you, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Dennis, Merry
Hi
Christmas.
there, Mandy.
Early.
How you doing?
Dennis,
We're
you,
doing
Hi,
well,
Bonnie.
but listen.
you have the tenacity of a pit bull, Dennis. I hung up on you 3 times. You kept going and going.
Hey, did
Fantastic.
you hang up on me? That's not nice.
What? All right,
That's
good
amazing.
call.
All right, we
gotta go,
getting
Dennis.
To
Thanks.
Coasters. Be
Thanks.
good.
See you guys later.
We love you.
Take care,
Bye.
Dennis. Thanks for the support.
Happy Christmas.
All right, bye. Shut up.
Dennis has a lot of dedication to Govs Radio.
Oh, he
does.
does.
He's like all
I
over
appreciate
every
it, but
show.
he just pops in at the worst moments.
I
It's
know.
just-
We're not at a personal just like line here that
Hmm.
you can just because Graz will just like call people in and plug them in, and then he'll be like they'll just be like an omnipotent person
Yeah.
the whole time. It's
Yeah.
very strange. I'm
I
like,
was
dude.
on I was on Graz's show a couple weeks ago, and like I'm in the middle of answering questions for him. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, we got a call. And bam. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to
Yeah, we're
join
gonna have
now.
a real estate agent sit
Yeah.
on the line with us for an hour. He's like so crazy.
Well, last night when there was this guy, his name was what, Big Artie, I think his name was.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. This guy was huge. He was like 6 foot something. He gets up there. He was very, very funny.
Yeah, he had it.
And he had brought a couple of people to watch him. You know, this is an open mic, and one of his friends, just not only was he heckling the other comics, he would get up and walk over to them, because there's no stage at Coasters. It's just like a floor. So he kept walking over and saying something like as if I got up and just started talking.
So he was
to you.
heckling right to their face?
It was 3D heckling. Like,
3D
right.
heckling.
And then his other friend starts hitting on Mandy while his friend is doing his act. And I
Oh,
almost,
my God, Mandela.
He was probably in his 70s, and he's just
Yeah.
like, "Are you gonna?"
Oh,
go
he
up
was an
there?"
old man.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you gonna go up there?" And like, so
No,
I'm
but
like,
he
just
was
trying to
hitting
be
on her.
nice.
I thought he was
Jen's
like I thought he was a young kid or something. He's an old man.
No,
well,
it
that's
was an old man. No, the kid that was
got
the guy that,
dementia. He probably thought he was at the circus.
no,
or
the
something.
guy that was heckling was probably in
Where's
his
the
30s.
elephants? I can't see them.
The other guy was younger. The guy that was heckling, and he wasn't so much heckling as he just wanted to be involved.
So why
You
didn't
know,
you
it's
just
like-
let him go up and do 5 minutes?
yeah,
He
but-
actually left right during my set. That's how good I am.
Mandy scared him
I
away.
threw him out.
Mandy was like, so anyway, I was, and the guy was like, out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm over it.
I'm out.
Buzzkill.
I'm out. I thought she was hot. Then I saw her act. I'm out.
Then I heard it talk and I fucking threw up all over myself.
I thought she was hot. Then she said fuck 19 times in 30
You
seconds.
really don't like that, man. I know how to turn you
Oh,
off.
I have.
Oh, I don't.
You,
it doesn't
every
bother.
time
I've got to
he
send
talks
to
about-
Mandy a meme that had something to do with talking about cursing. I will send that to you before tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to post it on your timeline.
You had to tell her on the air. You couldn't
Yes.
wait till afterwards.
No,
You
because
do
I'm very
everything air.
unprofessional.
You do everything
And
on
that's
air.
my charm, is I'm not professional.
All right, let's bang out the sponsor.
And then
Yes.
And then I want to talk about the people who are tuning in, because they are part of our show, the most important part of our show,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Yeah.
I get a message from my husband today. Oh, I met your biggest fan. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna send me like a picture of Bruno. It's loading. Biggest cornball. He's next to like a fucking
Fan?
4-foot fan. I'm like,
Wait,
all right.
your husband's not your biggest fan?
They were both my biggest fans.
That's
him and the fan.
terrible, Glenn. You're supposed to be our biggest fan. Anyway.
He's like my biggest critic. But anyways, Coasters Tavern, 487 Newbridge Road, East Meadow. That's where Bonnie and I were last night. Every Tuesday they have an open mic down there. Free tacos and shots for all the comics.
I love it there.
7:30 sign up, 8 o'clock start. They have a pool table. They've got food. They've got beer. They've got a great selection. You got to say hi to Jen and tell her that we sent you. Check out coasterstavern.com.
Damn.
Okay, so very quickly.
Yes, please.
Jennifer from Coasters. Jennifer's watching. She said a couple of things, which I'll get to. Bill Hansen, Dennis Murphy, who just called in, Gina Conjemi Coffin, I hope I'm saying that right, Heather Brzezinski, Joanne, is that your mom?
That's my mom.
Joanne.
Summers.
I should know that by
You
now.
met my mom.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken Pichelle. I love Ken. He's always doing our sponsors for us if we can't do them. Benny Rizzitti, my friend Frank, Lou Prats.
Yes. So fucking star-studded cast, guys.
Yeah.
And a couple, they're all saying hello, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for tuning in. See?
Yeah, we love you guys.
Thank you for the
Less than-
We
support.
do it for you.
Yes.
We don't do it for Tony, who doesn't want to ever do the
No,
shout-outs
it's not.
ever.
I don't mind doing the shout outs, but when we're in the middle of interviewing somebody and the guest is about to answer a question, and then Bonnie goes, oh, yeah, and such and such. That's,
Sometimes I see someone tuning in and I
yeah,
get very
I know.
excited.
Look at this. The line is ringing
Let's
again.
see.
Hello, you're on the air.
Glenn Delphi,
Who's this?
I ain't got no guests on my show tomorrow night. Any of you three douches want to come
Scrap.
on?
Oh,
God.
it's Greg.
What did you say, Grass?
DM us, for the Christ's
I
sake.
said I ain't got no guests for tomorrow night. Fucking Richie Byrne backed out. I want to know if any one of you three douches want to come on.
I'm in a show tomorrow.
I would love to, but I'm giving myself a
But,
saltwater enema tomorrow, which is more pleasant than being on your show. So, no, seriously,
Delphi, I'm gracious to you.
I'm kidding, Graz.
Graz.
I would love. Hey, aspetta. I would love to be
English.
on the show, Graz, but unfortunately, I'm booked. Sorry.
But unfortunately, I don't want
Graz,
to be on your show.
I have a show in Oceanside at 7, but your show doesn't start till like 9 something.
Don't come.
Do you want me to
like
come?
all
If you
night.
invite me, I will come.
But
All right, Bonnie, please come on tomorrow night.
I guess beggars can be choosers, huh, Graz? She's offering to come, and you're like, don't go.
Tony, we
Which-
gotta go. I want to hang out with you on Gallo and Dylan in the fucking garage in Poughkeepsie. Where is it? Fucking East Iceland.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
I can't hear him.
I want to hang out with you. You're in Ireland.
Oh, there we
I
go.
want to go hang out with Gallo and Dylan in fucking Gallo's fucking garage.
All right.
That's in the
Our
undisclosed
fucking sloppy
location.
seconds when we're done with Darren. All right. None of us can make it. Well, Bonnie can make it.
Bonnie can
You're-
make
I can make
after
it,
her
but I might
gig.
be a little
Bonnie.
late.
Where's your
Oh,
gig
Oh,
in
yeah.
bro, you don't
Oceanside?
rush me off the phone, you
Good
bitch.
segue.
Yeah, I
You can't
have
make it?
to.
Hey, shut up,
So,
Bonnie.
right.
thank you, Graz.
Bonnie's got a
I love
plug.
you.
We love you.
I'll
Love
see-
you too,
Well, I'll
Graz.
see you tomorrow.
That's Anthony Graz. Listen to him on Limo Talk. Bye-bye.
Take a ride.
Limo talk tomorrow
Take a
night
ride with Graz.
at 9 o'clock. So I am in a show at 7 o'clock. Doug Hilderman's show in a place called Jandis. I hope I'm saying
Jaundice.
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 I have
queen.
jaundice.
If you're not doing anything, come down to 3000 Long Beach Road in Oceanside. And then my pal, Kristen Tinsley, is having her big birthday bash on Friday at Coasters. And I will be in that show, too. It's called 39 and a Half Comedy Show. That starts at 8:30 on Friday at Coasters. Thank you for the segue and the plug.
No problem. There we go. We ready to bring our guest?
We
Yeah,
are.
let's do it.
Darren and his mule.
I don't know what that means, but
It's
That's all right.
offensive, I guess.
our next, so I can hear things. With the things on, I can't hear anything. Right?
Oh.
Our next guest has his live cast called Undisclosed with Darren and Gallo. And he's the very, very funny Darren Dillon.
How we doing? How we doing?
Welcome.
Good.
Welcome.
Everybody move over.
Oh my
move
God!
over.
I'm gonna crawl into your uterus.
I know.
There we go.
There's room
What's
in
going
there.
on? How are you guys?
We're
Great.
doing
Thank you
well.
so
How
much
are
for
you?
coming on.
Are you kidding me? Thanks for having me. I love you guys. I love you all.
Aw.
We love you. I love your photos of your kids.
I can taste the
Oh,
bile
thanks.
from here.
They're so
kids.
cute.
And I like the mini me's.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm done with them. I'm bored of them. I live with them. Everyone's like, they're so cute. Yeah, you fucking take
Well,
them.
they like-
Sorry about the
No,
F
you
word.
can curse.
No.
You can curse. It's all
Okay.
right.
Clearly.
Mandy has a monopoly on that, but you can curse.
You could try to out.
Last time I saw you, I was supposed to do that show,
Yeah.
and I had because my wife was in the hospital.
Yeah,
I
and
had
how
the
is she
kids with
doing?
me.
Is she
Yeah.
okay?
Much better.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
she
good.
She, is she okay?
Yeah, she's good.
Good,
She's
good.
good. She's good. I know she's good. Whenever she yells at me, I know she's good.
Nice.
She's feeling better, yeah. Good.
But how did that go that night? How did you
I
do?
actually did really well. Actually, it was Dan Romano was the producer of that show, and all his friends are, they're huge supporters.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
come out, they took pictures, and they reposted, and they're just really great people. Asking questions but not heckling throughout.
Right.
So I
They behave themselves.
Exactly. It was funny because the one lady was like, "Oh," I said one of my jokes real early. I was like, "Oh, it's gonna get a lot worse." So it was it was just a lot. George had a great night too. He was
Yeah,
the
he said he had a
headliner,
good
George
set.
Gallo. I had never seen him before.
I felt bad because I was supposed to drive him home.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, well, I came in with Butera.
Yeah.
Like 2 PM, Butera calls me. He's like, "Hey, my daughter's got my car. Do you mind picking
He
me up?"
told me about that. And he had an Uber home.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So, but by the time I get home, my wife, she'd been dealing with it all week. She's like,
Yeah.
"I gotta go to the hospital." Like, I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I'm like, "All right, go, just
Yeah.
go, and I'll take the kids with me, and
Yeah.
I'll pick
Wait a
up
minute.
Butera."
Just to show the dedication. His wife is going to the hospital. She's doubled over in pain. I have to go to the hospital. All right, peace, bitch. I'm going to
Yeah,
government.
they're gonna give me a tight 3.
I got to do my spot, I committed. You'll be fine. I'll come see you in a while.
She would want you to make the people laugh.
It was not a good. She was not happy, and I can't blame her. But I had no one to watch my kids.
Yeah,
So now I'm
yeah.
traveling
I
with
know that
kids
one.
in the car. I got Butera, who's
He's like the
Let me
biggest
back
kid.
up. Let me back up. I'm driving my car is in a shop, right? So I'm driving her car, which is it's a Barbie Beetle. It's a Volkswagen Beetle convertible, big yellow. the girliest, faggiest car you've ever seen in your life, right? And now I got Butera in the front, and Butera is bigger than the fucking car to begin with.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't even know how he got in the front seat. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you should think about me losing some weight.
Economy.
I don't know. I felt so bad.
Business class next time.
But he was great. He bought my kids pizza, and my kids are in the back eating fucking pizza. I'm like, oh my
Really?
God. My wife's texting me, and I'm like, oh my, what am I going to do? I get here. I told Dan, I'm like, look, this is the deal. I'm like, I'd love to go up and do my spot. The show started late.
Yeah.
But I couldn't hang around here with the kids.
Yeah,
It just-
exactly.
But I wanted to get Patera there, and then I knew Gallo was going to be here. And I'm like, George, I got to go. I don't know how he got home. I think he had an Uber home too. So
I'm
I
sure
fucked
he
a
did
lot of
all right.
people that night. I felt bad. I felt bad.
I know. Well, I was saying to Butera, I was like, I can get you to a train station. I'm not getting you all the way home. And he's like, oh, a train. I'm like, yeah, an
Well, how
adult
far-
without a car. You got to start thinking Uber, train.
How
Come
far
on,
does
there's
he
we
live?
got options.
He lives in
He lives
Port
by
Jefferson.
me. He
He's in
lives
Port
far.
Jeff.
That's
So-
not that far.
That's far enough.
Far enough.
Uber, that's got to be an $80 Uber ride.
Is it?
It's got to be. Think about it.
I was trying to convince him to take the train. I was like, just get on the train, man, and then Uber from a train station. You know,
I felt
'cause
bad.
that's whatever.
But what are you gonna do? That's life, you know.
That's
Yeah.
it. What are you gonna do?
He was
Yeah,
fine. He
it's
actually,
all
I
right.
think he got home some other way because he didn't even take
Look,
a
we're
ride
all
from
adults
me.
here. You fucking figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly. That's why
I
was
would like to say that that's a heartless thing you did, leaving your wife in the hospital, but I did it once before too. To my first wife, not to
Let me tell
Karen.
you, it wasn't. Well, look, it was not an easy decision. It wasn't a life or death thing. We knew
Right,
that. You
right.
know, she just had to get it checked out. Number one, because she had that mesh surgery. She's had a hernia from the last baby. She was all
Okay.
fucked up.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have that too.
Right. So we knew it wasn't life threatening. Number
Yeah.
one. Number two, I was like, I can't flake out. I just can't do it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a reputation. And stuff.
Well, that's
Well,
the
yeah,
thing.
You know?
yeah.
It's
you're
not like I can call in sick. This
Right,
job's
right,
different
right.
like
Yeah,
that,
you're
you
like,
know?
yeah, his attendance, poor attendance. He might not show up.
Yeah, I've been on stage with 102 fever.
Yeah.
Because
Dying.
because
I've done that
it's,
too.
You know, won't go to work with
No.
102
Fuck
fever.
that.
Well, it's like the plow guys or anyone getting like emergency service, like overtime. Like if you say no, I don't want that Saturday work, you go to like the bottom of the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
You know, so if you got the time, you got to always say yes.
Only missed one gig ever, and it was because I blew the motor on my car while I was driving to the gig. The motor on my
That's
car.
pretty good.
And I only missed one gig because there was somebody on the show. I didn't want to be on the same show as her.
That's
so,
not
so
good.
you, but you
That's
probably
the only
saved,
gig I
you
ever
could have
missed.
saved the gig though by that. You never know.
I've
There could have been a
missed-
disaster.
I've never missed one.
I don't think I've ever. No, me
Only
neither.
missed
I
one.
mean,
You have to-
technically you can say I missed this one, but I was here. And if they,
Right.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't start till 8:45,
Yeah.
8:50, you know, I could have went up to my spot and go, but
I know everything said 7, but then didn't start till like after 8. He was like, "No, it's 8." When we got there, we're like,
but you guys didn't start till like 8:40,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it
was
started real late.
That's professional.
That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it was a great night though. We had a lot of, like I said, a good crowd in there. It makes it a good.
A lot of people don't realize that. Like, people think you do this, like, oh, you just go to a bar and having fun and laughing.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But the work that we
It's-
have to do to get to that point.
It's
Right.
a fun job, but it's still a job.
Yeah, and getting there is part of the job. And
Yeah.
you just can't call in sick. You know, even if you're a doctor, you can call in sick. Look, I'm really sick. I can't make it today.
Yeah.
You'll go and you'll work tomorrow. You do that at our level as a comedian.
Forget
you're
it.
taking
Yeah.
a chance of never coming back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there's someone else
You'll
ready
get
to
banned.
jump right in for
Right.
you.
You will
Right.
get banned.
Yeah.
I had a booker tell me, I don't care what happened, you better get there.
Yeah.
Because if not, you never work for
I mean,
me again.
that's right.
And I did whatever I could, and I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And I think that's why when people get a little bit of success and fame, and when they can say, fuck
Yeah.
off, they say fuck off.
I
you
think
know?
that's what happens is when people say, like, oh, this guy's got attitude. I'm like, that guy probably got shit on a lot when
Yeah.
he was coming up the ladder. You know what I mean?
He's got attitude. Yeah, 20 years
And
of being kicked in the
Yeah,
balls.
exactly.
Yeah,
now
that's
it's his
like he got
turn.
shit on a lot.
Yeah.
You know, just Dave Grohl said that. Like they will put in Foo Fighters, they'll put something just stupid in their rider, just to
Just to
see
see if they're rating it.
if it'll happen.
Right.
And it's like he goes, we don't expect it, but they'll put
wanna see if
something.
they're paying attention.
Yeah, you know.
I love Grohl. He's great.
Always they said it, and that's what I would do. Like if I got to that point, I would just put something stupid in.
You're not going to have people sign NDAs like Pete Davidson?
I don't know what happened to that kid. Remember when he was like 14, 15, and he was coming around? He was so great.
It's so disappointing.
And this,
Because-
but you know what? I gotta say at some point though, he's been getting slammed by everybody. You're dating Ariana Grande, and then you're out with Kate Beckinsale, and then you're out with the other one.
He's
I
got
forgot.
nothing.
Ugly
He's
as
got, yeah,
fuck, too.
Yeah, but
I have no
I
idea who he
think
is.
it's just people
He was here
just
one night.
hammering him and screaming shit at him. You know what I mean? Like I've done shows with the Stern guys, and like Stern crowds are fierce. Like
Yeah.
if they don't like you, like I was on stage at Caroline's.
Even if they like you,
Yeah.
they'll fuck with you.
I was on stage at Caroline's and they would just scream and shit out at me,
Yeah.
like and stuff. And they weren't doing it to be assholes. They were just because they wanted to be like
They want to be part of the show, and that's what it is.
Right.
So I think it was just him getting slammed and slammed and slammed and slammed to the point
How
where
do you
his-
ask someone you want to see my show? Come. I want you to pay money to come to my show, and I want you to sign this NDA that if you talk about my show, you're going to get. I'm supposed to be your fan.
How much of that do you think is him, and how much of it do you think it is the people,
I think it's a question for him to
the
answer.
puppet master pulling the?
Well, he's in charge of hiring and firing the puppets. It's not like he's a
Yeah.
nobody.
Right. Exactly.
And he doesn't have to sign. I mean, he's a big star. I just found it really disappointing. I'm not people who say, "Oh, you're just bitter." Maybe I'm a little bitter,
Maybe,
but still, I would. How do you do
he's
that?
funny as hell. When I haven't seen him in a few years.
I've never
but
seen his act.
We used to. He used to pop up in shows in the city all the time. We'd do shows
When he was a kid.
When he was a kid,
Yeah,
his mom,
I think I remember seeing him as a kid once or twice here and,
and
there.
his
but not
mom
as-
would just be with him. His mom's hot, man. His mom looks like Marissa Tomei. He's trying to pick her up all the time. And then I'd be outside smoking, and he'd be like, "Can I get one of them cigarettes, man?" I'm like, "You're 15.
15, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't give you a cigarette." All right, here's a cigarette. But it's just, and he was funny then. So
I don't know.
you got it. You know,
I don't know how it's going to be received. but
There's three sides to every story. There's one side, then
That's
the other
true.
side, then the truth.
That's
So
true,
Who
but
knows what is? But it is. It's you got some set
You're
of
asking
balls.
people for money to come and see you, and then you're asking them to sign a contract to not talk about what they paid to see. And if you do talk about it, I'm going to sue your ass.
Is it to not talk about it or not to
He doesn't want any jokes leaked.
record it or anything?
He doesn't want anything leaked.
Was he doing it for like a comedy special or something?
Write another fucking joke.
I'm just saying, maybe
I have
he's
no idea.
got like
Just write a new joke.
An HBO
are you
special
so
coming
are you
out.
so scared that your material is going to get? If you have no faith in your material, then your material
Yeah.
should be strong enough that if I hear your joke and I tell it, you'll laugh. But if you hear the person who wrote it, performed it, you're going to pee.
Right.
You know, there's a
Yeah,
difference.
definitely.
So what are you
Yeah.
afraid of? You're
Yeah.
on TV. You're a star. You got a giant hog. You're banging Ariana Grande. You're banging what's her name's daughter now too. The supermodel with Richard Gere. Who was the one with Richard Gere? Long time ago.
Oh, what's her name? I could see her face in front of me.
Beautiful. The Claire, like
Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. He's banging her.
He's
Just
banging her daughter?
He's got the life like you wouldn't believe. What's her name? Kira. He is living life. Stop it, all the bullshit.
Damn.
Fucking push it away.
Who are they talking about?
Pete Davidson from
Davidson.
Saturday Night
I
Live.
have to look him up.
Oh my God.
Really? He's banging-
his penis should have a
He's
statue erected. to
Banging
him.
Cindy Crawford and Richard Gere's daughter.
I don't know if it's Richard Gere. Is it Kyra?
Oh.
Kyra?
Oh, is
Kira?
it from Danny Moda, whatever the hell? her
Yes,
name?
I think you're right. You're
Ah.
right. That's the one.
How
that she's
sad
from.
is it that I
She's
know
beautiful.
her husband's fucking name?
She's beautiful.
I know Darren's got kids and well, you have a wife too, but that's why you know all the pop.
My wife knows nothing about pop
I know
culture.
that's good.
I swear to God, we're watching The Irishman, okay? And save yourself 3.5 hours.
I haven't seen it yet. So.
Save yourself 3.5 hours.
That's what I
And Hoffa comes on, and Karen goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "It's Jimmy Hoffa. They just said Jimmy Hoffa." She goes, "No, who's playing?" I go, "That's fucking Al Pacino."
Pacino.
The fuck do you mean? Who is
You
that?
just said that to me last week.
That's hysterical.
I go, "It's Al Pacino playing Jimmy Hoffa." Oh, it is? Okay.
That movie, it's too drawn
no,
out.
no, no.
right?
Yeah, it just took a while. The CGI trying to make them look
Younger.
than Pacino slips between Chicago accent and New York accent. De Niro, the only way I could describe him, he was like the Guinea Forrest Gump. Like that's what he like. You go do this, and he did it. This guy is supposed to be like the most ruthless hitman
Right.
in the history of the mafia.
And he's like, done.
Nobody ever heard of him. The only guy who was good was Pesci. Pesci was great.
Pesci's always
and
great.
Norton playing Don Rickles.
I know. How great is that? How awesome. That's his idol.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm going to go out on a limb, and a lot of people will probably give me hell for this. Personally, I think Pacino and De Niro are so fucking overrated.
Really? They're early.
Ever since
stuff is good.
the early stuff, yes. Pacino, The
Fantastic.
Godfather, you can't touch.
No.
De Niro in Cape Fear, Taxi Driver,
yeah.
you can't touch. Even in The Godfather, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
But they became caricatures of themselves. Al Pacino, well,
that's-
what the fuck are you doing?
That's what happens. So
yeah,
you
it's
can't.
they write the characters for the guys, and it's.
But you're saying he's slipping out between Chicago and New York? I mean,
But if you've seen, like, he did an HBO film where he played Dr. Kevorkian, and he did an HBO film where he played Phil Spector, and he was awesome.
I
in
think I
both.
saw the Spectre one. He was good in that.
He was
You're
awesome
right.
in both those roles. Awesome. He did them perfectly. So I used to be like De Niro was number one for me, and Pacino was like right underneath him, and now it's like kind of switched. Like
Well, De Niro was good in The Joker.
he was good in
He
Joker.
was really good
Yes.
in that. And he didn't have a big part, but he was really good.
Yeah.
I think a lot about De Niro is that the reason why everyone thinks he's such a great actor is because he really doesn't have a personality. We don't know who he is.
Yeah.
You'll interview him, and he's very monotone, and he's very one key. So you don't really know, is this Robert being Robert, or is it Robert being that character?
I watched the documentary he made about his father. His father was an artist. His
Yeah.
father left his mother and came out of the closet.
Right.
Said he was gay and stuff. And it wasn't his. He didn't. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like typical Italian upbringing. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
think
mean?
I think his mom raised him herself.
Yeah,
right?
His father was
He
out
went
of
to
the
art
picture a
school
lot.
too, like from the time he was a kid.
Yeah, but his father was out of the picture.
Don't get me
a
wrong, I'm
lot.
not saying he's not talented. I just feel like they seem to have gotten a little bit lazy. They do the same shit
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
yeah.
You know what my
You know it's
husband
good.
hates is now that all the movies are about people writing movies. Every
Yeah.
movie is about people writing a book or writing a movie because they're writers. So these are the lives they're writing. So they're writing themselves into the movies. And now it's like it's lazy because
Yeah.
you're just writing about how you're struggling to get your movie written. And I've watched a couple movies like that now. Like I can't
Example?
think of fucking the one
Oh.
We Are Animals.
What is that?
It's actually John Cusack.
Yeah.
I love John Cusack.
Yeah, it's a newer one. Yeah, We Are Animals. But it's also Adaptation was like that too.
Oh yeah.
But Adaptation is a phenomenal movie though.
You want
but-
to see a good Cusack movie? It came out a long time ago. It's called Max, and it's
know it.
about young Hitler.
Oh, I'm
Hitler's-
hooked.
Hitler's,
I'm in.
Hitler's at a crossroads in his life. Do I stay an artist or do I get into politics? And Cusack plays this guy Max, who owns an art gallery, who starts showing some of Hitler's work. But his work is too angry, and he's trying to like steer Hitler into, how to be an art. And
Sounds like Linda Rowe when she was handling me.
it's a really good movie. And
That sounds great.
and it's like his, because he's Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Cusack's Jewish, and it like that pushes him in, and then like he does like.
Is that on
this modern-
Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix.
have to check it out.
But yeah, it's called Max.
Sounds good.
Good movie.
Well,
I just watched. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that I watched your stand-up, and I could really relate to almost everything you were doing about your
Thank
kids.
you. It's all crap, but thank you.
No, it's not. It's
My
not.
act is fucking the biggest pile of shit.
That's not nice.
No, he was talking about like how difficult it is to raise the kids, and
Trying to raise a man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down
like
to.
Trying to raise
just
what?
stuff like
A man?
you have a
Trying to raise my
favorite.
son he's my favorite. I'm trying to raise a man, not a
Whoop his
millennial.
ass when he's bad,
right.
and that's what happens.
You know what my son does when he doesn't listen? Push-ups. That's right. Get down and do push-ups right now.
Really?
The only thing I'm afraid when he's 20, he's going to kick the living shit out of me.
That's what's gonna happen.
That is a good that's not like a bad punishment though.
That's what he does
Oh
all
my
the time.
God.
All the girls do it too.
Every
it's like
time he's doing
you
one of them
think-
push-ups, he's just thinking about them.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I'm
De Niro
gonna
in
fuck,
fifth
yeah,
year.
I'm gonna fuck him up so
One
bad.
more
Come
year.
here, like-
One
fuck
more
you
year.
up, Dad.
Yeah, you wait till I fucking old man.
Don't give him. Don't put that thought in his head.
No, my son's so sweet. He's nothing like
It's
me.
gotta
He's
be.
so sweet.
I'm still terrified of my father at my age. So
You got
I'm terrified of your father. I gotta be quite honest with you.
yeah,
I love your dad. Your dad's awesome. That's how dads are supposed to be.
He's great, but when he yells, I still.
Yeah.
I'm,
Oh, my stomach hurts.
I'm a 10-year-old boy
Yeah.
again, and my dad yelling at me. It's,
That's how they should be, man. Strong figures. Look at you. You turned out all right.
I guess.
You're not in prison.
No, the charges couldn't
the
stick.
mark of the citizen.
Kind of low.
That's because your father taught you. He taught you. Don't leave no. You don't want any witness there. No witness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah,
You're
you either have to
yeah.
be really authoritative as parents, or it falls apart. Your kid will step all over
Yeah.
you. And
Maybe, man. I got whooped all the time. It was great.
You need that yin yang. You need the mom to be soft and sweet and a safe place to come to, and you need the father to. I don't hit my kids. I talk about
Yeah.
but to me, I don't want to. I don't want to be I don't want them looking at me as fear and violence. you
Right.
know? I'd rather them look at me like disappointment.
Yeah.
But you have to be stern with them, because they will, Bonnie.
Your
they
father
will,
didn't give you crack?
Oh, yeah.
My father beat the
I was
living
just saying,
shit
you
out of
grew
me.
up Irish. It's just the same thing, man.
He beat the shit out of me for when I did good things. Hey, you got an A? Good job, you dick.
Yeah, you faggot trying to study in with the books,
Wait.
the reading.
You think he's so fun. I got beat while I was sleeping.
Me
I
too.
got woke up.
Me too.
Why? What'd you do?
I'll tell you
I
mine.
got
You tell me
woke up.
yours.
I was my cousin Al. We lived in the same house, and we were a month apart in age, so we were always together, always doing stuff all the time. And he had 2 older sisters, and they would catch us doing stuff, and then they'd rat us out. And like we were
Bitches.
out lighting fires in woods, and his sister ratted us out to his mother. But then his mother's like, my aunt, she was like, what we doing? And he was like, nothing. And she was like, what we doing? And he's like, I wasn't lighting fires in the woods. But then she's what? Oh, then
wasn't.
She'd call my mom. Now, my father worked from like 5 in the morning until 6 at night or whatever, you know what I mean? And by the time he was done, and one night, my mother waited until I went to bed, and she was like, your son was lighting fires in the woods. And he was like, what? And like, in
She
the middle
thought
of the-
you'd be
Boom!
safe if she told him while you were sleeping.
Yeah, she thought I was gonna be.
Your
He would
mother
sleep
is
off the
brutal.
feeding.
No, she thought I was gonna be safe. I wasn't
Oh,
gonna
because
get
sleep.
She's like,
Because
so
I
the
was
husband would sleep
sleeping.
it off and be all right.
And he was like, she
Beat
was like,
me later tomorrow.
Anthony was lighting fires in the woods today. What? And just jumped in the middle of sleep.
That's fun.
And what were you doing though? You
Mine,
got beaten.
I deserved it.
Oh, I deserved
deserved
every
it.
I
crack
got
I
slapped on the
got.
face and I deserved it.
I must have been 19 years old, 19 or 20 years old. I came home fucking loaded out of my mind.
Oh.
Out of my mind. I grew up in Belrose, Queens. It was
Okay.
NASA, but Belrose,
Yeah.
there's no parking anywhere. And there was a car in the driveway, and my spot with my car was always to park right in front of the driveway, like block the car. So
Yeah.
that was my spot. So I come home, fucking hammered. I'm like, what the fuck is this car? Some car. I'm like, someone parked in front of my fucking house? Like, what is this shit? So I park, go down the block, and there was a Buick dealership there. I put my car there, right? I'm walking. I fucking punched the car. Bam! I'm punching it. I start kicking the fender. Huge dent. I leave a note. Don't park in front of my house next time, asshole. Go to bed, right? Sound asleep. I'm out cold. And it must have been, I don't know, 6:30 in the morning. My door's closed. All of a sudden I hear, what the fuck did you do? Bam! That's my boss's car. Bam! You little motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you.
Oh my
See
god!
what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
He kicked my door so hard. His slipper mark was this fucking big.
Oh
All
my
my friends like,
God.
was that your father? And they're like, oh my god. They're all terrified of him. I never ever did that again. Never did it again.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I had black and blues. He made me call up his boss and tell him, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah,
President.
yeah.
It was me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
vandalized your
I
car.
promise I'll pay for it and this and that. And
Oh
See,
my
the
God.
Jewish culture is different. I shoplifted when I was a teenager.
Oh my god!
Yes,
the
yes, I
Jews,
did.
the Jews are shoplifters. I didn't even know that.
Jews stealing?
I
Fair enough, you're
shoplifted.
getting it wholesale. You gotta steal it.
So I stole a kitty toy, and I got caught.
For a cat.
Yeah, for a cat.
Okay.
I stole it in the Walt Whitman shopping mall.
You stole
I got caught, and you would have thought that I murdered someone. The way my mother looked at me, and then she called up. She got my grandparents involved. What did we do wrong?
Bonnie,
that
I'm
she
so
stole this
disappointed.
toy, and
how old were you? How old were you?
I was like 14.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
But
like
it's
right
about
around.
wasting
That's
Jewish
like,
guilt.
That's when it's around.
And
the
I
age to
never
be, like,
stole again.
cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Never
She
stole
guilt
again.
tripped you into honesty. Never
Yeah.
stealing.
The only time she ever hit me, nobody ever hit me. My dad never hit me. The only time I ever got hit, again, had to do with the Jewish religion, it was Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the Jewish calendar.
Yeah.
Like you guys can confess your sins every time you go to Catholic church,
Yeah.
you know. There's only one day that you can do it.
Oh,
that
that's
one
why
day.
the Jews are so
Yeah.
pent
That's
up.
why you
they
bet-
got
Yeah,
they got all their
exactly.
sins all year.
I do a
Exact-
bit about this.
Oh, I want to
The
hear that.
difference between Yom Kippur and Catholicism. Go ahead and talk.
So my friend Mara lived across the street, was Jewish also, and her parents let her go out and play because they weren't that religious.
So you're not
Neither were
supposed to
we.
play on Yom Kippur?
No,
No,
you're supposed
you
to
didn't.
just
Think
sit
about
there
God.
You don't
and
even
think
eat.
about atone for everything you you can't even eat.
You gotta fast.
You have to
That
fast,
sucks.
yeah. So Mara rings my bell and she wants me to come out and play because back then that's what you did. You
Yeah.
didn't play with your phone. You played with actual children. And I wanted to go, and my mother's like, no, you can't go out because it's Yom Kippur. So I was like, I want to go out. And then she's like, no, you can't. And then, like you said, I deserved it. I started screaming, I'm going out. I want to go out. I want to go out. And then, wham, she slapped me across the face.
That's it.
And
That was it.
That was it.
Sit down and ask Jewish God for
Yeah.
forgiveness.
How old were you?
I don't
38.
remember. I think I was a teenager.
Teenager?
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
All this stuff that molds us into who we are later on.
I've got
in a
some
good or
good
bad way. I don't know.
I got some. When my parents first split up, when they first got divorced, my father every weekend we were at my grandmother's house every weekend, and I was like 14. I want to hang out with my friends and stuff like that. I'm like, Dad, I'll just go. I'll stay home. And he's like, get in the van. Let's go. And I was like, and I didn't realize I said it loud enough for him to hear me. And I was like, every week this old bitch's house. And he was like, what did you say? And I was like, nothing. And he was like, that's my mother. And I was like, not only to get a whooping, when we got to my grandmother's house, he made me apologize to her for saying it.
That was always worse than the whipping.
And my grandmother
Always worse.
my grandmother, God bless her, may she rest in peace, she was always on my side. Leave him alone. What do you make him come here for?
Right.
You know?
The apology was always the worst. That's always the most awkward. I'd rather take a beating any day.
Yeah. I got
Any
both.
day.
I got
Quick
the
and
beating
get-
well,
and
yeah.
the head.
quickly and get it over
But
with.
I would have rather taken a second beating than have to
having to do
look
it
my
again. Yeah.
grandmother in
So
the eye and say,
embarrassing.
sorry, I said
I'm
you were
sorry,
a bitch.
yeah.
So Mandy, we didn't hear your story. Did you
Yeah,
ever get
they beat
beaten
it
up?
out of me. No, actually, my parents my dad always like told me he was gonna put his foot up my ass, but they just
They just threatened you.
they
but
threatened me.
threats.
They threatened
Right.
me, and they made me
These
feel.
kids today, they have no idea.
My mom always was like, you know what's right and wrong. Like if you lie or you cheat or you steal, there's something inside you that just doesn't feel right. And she just taught us to be guided by that feeling inside.
my
I know
God.
that feeling inside
How
you.
soft and
No, but
wonderful.
Oh my God.
And then, but my parents were divorced, so I had.
right.
Yeah, I know. So I didn't get double the beatings. I just got both. I had two people telling me completely different stories about how the world should be. So I was like, "You guys are both fucking wrong because you completely You're not. None of this is adding
I
up."
got beat with the wooden spoons and then when they
Constantly.
started
Did you have
breaking.
to bring the wooden
Then you
spoon
get beat
over?
for breaking the
Then
wooden
you got in
spoon.
trouble for beating
Same shit
the-
at my house.
My mother had a black belt in wooden spoon. She would, oh my God, she'd come at you, I don't know. And then
She's
finally,
watching right now, so-
Yeah.
Joanne.
And if you're asking us, I never put a hand on my kids.
My mother would say that now too. I never touched
I
you. Really? Never touched me.
My father says that too. He goes, "What are you crazy? I never touched you." I go, "Are you hitting the pipe? What are you?"
Isn't that weird how they remember things?
My
I
brother-
never raised a hand on you.
My brother never laid a hand on my brother.
Well, because your brother listened.
That's why. My brother's a good kid.
you obeyed the rules.
I think I just wore them down so much for him that they
He's
were just-
younger than you?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
6.5 years younger
Yeah,
than me.
they're
that-
tired.
yeah.
I just wore them down so much they were just like, yeah, go. I
Whatever.
don't give a shit.
Yeah,
go.
they're tired. It's
And
true.
The younger the kid, the more they can get away with.
Yes.
It's the older one,
absolutely.
and then
The parents are older and tired.
right,
Yeah.
and they just can't. They just
That's
don't
it.
care
I think
anymore.
my father was just so tired, his arms from cracking me so much that he was just like, I don't care, go, do what you want.
Did you know we have someone watching from Scotland?
I just saw that.
Really?
Pauline is watching from Scotland. Our friend Kristen Tinsley. Hi, Kristen. My friend Louise. She's a singer, and maybe we'll have her in coming up.
Yeah.
Bruno, I think I already said Bruno is watching. Greg DeFlippo from Florida. So we got some people from Scotland, from Florida.
Florida, Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Stu,
time.
Stu Goldstein
All
is
the
Stu
prestigious-
Goldstein is watching. He's one of my
Who's in Scotland? I'm going to be in Scotland next week at the Yacht Hut.
her name is
What?
Pauline McCollum.
Are you really in Scotland?
Yeah, I'll be in Scotland next week at the Yacht Hut. We're doing 3 shows on Friday, 2 on Saturday. So come on down, check it out. It's in North Wales, and come down, say hello.
That's not Scotland.
Whatever.
Your mom says.
Be in Edinburgh.
Your mom
Edinburgh.
says Tony will always says he survived the wooden spoon. Ha, ha,
Yeah,
ha.
see?
And
I
Paul
am
Bond
wooden-
is watching right now.
I am
Hi,
a
Paul.
wooden
Bond.
spoon
Paul
survivor. What's up, Paul?
Bond.
We got to get him on.
We're all
Yeah, Paul, you
Yeah.
said you're going to come on the show. When you coming on?
Let's open up for Christmas and we'll do Paul Bond Christmas songs.
Yeah,
We
he's got
were
the
going to do a
crazy.
show on Wednesday on Christmas.
No, I'm not
but
gonna
let's
be
op-
here,
oh,
Chris.
come on. We don't need you.
I could be on
Me
Christmas
and
'cause
Bonnie
I'm
will do it with
Jewish.
Paul. We don't need you.
But
Go
we
ahead.
wouldn't do that to Mike because
ahead.
Mike wants to be with his family on Christmas.
Yeah.
We
Mike-
wouldn't do that.
We're Mike's family.
Yes, we've adopted him.
Mike knows that.
Well, she's Jewish, so she ain't celebrating Christmas. And
Well, my
you're
dad was born on Christmas, so
pagan or whatever the hell
it's
you
his
are,
birthday.
so you're not celebrating Christmas either.
So it's my
Some of
dad's-
us good Catholics want,
I think the Jews need to start celebrating Christmas. Jesus was a Jew. He was on your team.
Jesus was.
I don't understand this.
I get to celebrate because my dad was born on December 25th.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
we have Chinese
Dad is
food.
Jesus.
Maybe he is.
Messiah.
He is a Jew born on December 25th.
Is he good with a hammer?
No.
Is he?
No. And his brother was born on Halloween. How weird is that?
It's not weird at all.
That's not weird at all. A lot of people were born on Halloween.
But to have two brothers, one born on Christmas and one born on Halloween.
Your grandparents, they time their sex
Yeah,
so,
9
that
months, 7.
so they can't forget the birthdays. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly.
Funny thing, I got married on Halloween. I'll never forget my anniversary.
That's smart.
Perfect. That is smart.
Very smart.
It's really smart.
My brother did one better. He got married on April Fool's Day.
Now he's still over in Germany.
Yeah. Comes we thought he was retiring in March, now it's April. So
He's gonna retire.
yeah, he's 22 years and holy shit. 21, 22 years.
What's he gonna do?
He's gonna move back.
If you guys
to-
don't know, Tony's
but-
brother.
My
Air
brother
Force.
is a first sergeant in the Air Force. He is stationed at Ramstein Air Force Base right now. He's going to move back to Texas, where his wife is, in San Antonio, and said he wants to go back to college and get his degree, and then he wants to become an earth science teacher.
Oh my God, that's what my ex-husband did.
It's,
So-
you know, it's
It's not,
the
not
two,
good. Not
the
good.
dichotomy of you and your brother. It's amazing.
It's because he was
Crazy.
never beaten.
You want to know why? Because he was never beaten, and
He was hugged and loved.
and he was hugged and loved.
Yep.
And my mother nursed him, and I got the Similac. That's what.
Me too. That's what it is. We were not hugged enough, and we were given shitty formula.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it. He
Yeah.
got
And you
the
drank
all
from the
natural
hose and
stuff.
all that.
Yeah, drank from the hose.
Your
He
mom
looks-
says, "I never touched him. The wooden spoon did."
Ah,
And Michael,
right.
your uncle, Joe
Joey
Cole
Cole.
is watching,
Yeah.
What's up, Joey?
Uncle Joe.
and Bill Hansen says the wood yardstick.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
I never got the
Yardstick.
yardstick.
I didn't
That must hurt even worse.
My father had a belt because he did road construction. He had this thin leather belt that was stiff as a board, and it had like little bits of concrete on it. And he would be like, "Go get the strap," and I'd be like, "Huh?" He would go get the strap, and I'd be like, "No." And he says, "If I got to get up to get it, you're gonna get twice the beating."
Oh, God.
Oh, let me sharpen the buckle a little too, Dad, so you can get.
That's brutal.
And then I'd come to it, and I'd be crying, and he'd be like, "Yep, wham!"
That's brutal. When you actually have to get the weapon,
You
you're
have
gonna
to
be
get
beat
it.
with.
And I prayed to
There
God.
were movies like that.
I prayed to God that it was the
So
strap
awesome.
because his hands were so calloused. There's like
From doing the construction.
getting hit with a piece of wood. Like
Yeah. Oh my God.
he's little, man. He's built like a brick shithouse, man.
Those little Italians. You don't fuck with them.
That's what I said. Even to this day, he yells, and I'm like, whoa.
There's something about that DNA. They're built solid.
Yeah.
And just it's frightening.
Yep, it's amazing.
Like Irish guys, they start to get soft.
Yeah.
You know, they start to get very spindly. I mean, look at Gage. You know, they become very like weak. But the Italians, they just get stronger and stronger.
It's all that wine.
I don't know what it is.
It's that wine.
The wine and the fish, maybe.
And fish and olive oil and garlic. That's what it is.
And
Made-
what
made-
is it?
So are you Italian?
Yes, actually, I'm half Italian and half Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a mutt.
Nice.
Mutt. You're all Italian. Mandy, what are you? Irish?
I'm a little.
Primarily Irish and then like Czechoslovakian and then some other
Czech, yeah, I
Welsh.
see that. I see that middle, that Eastern
Russian.
European.
Got that Eastern
Russia.
European
I see it. Yeah.
look in the eye.
The
You would have
Russian-
survived the Holocaust.
Yeah, I would have been
fine.
a good candidate.
You would have seen. Yeah. Why would she?
She would have survived. She's blonde. She's Ukrainian.
Oh.
Or whatever. She would have survived it.
You-
She's not Jewish.
No, she would have been gone.
Yeah.
Actually, my uncle was killed in the Holocaust.
Oh my
Aw.
God.
Well, they killed everyone.
And
I'm
I was
so
named
sorry.
after him for the letter
They killed
B.
everyone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Benjamin.
That's
So-
cute.
Listen, when you go to, I've been to Dachau.
Yeah, you've been there.
and it's
Frightening, man.
scary, frightening the evil that men
Isn't it
are
crazy
capable
how
of.
long the world let that go on before we did anything?
Well, we weren't going to get involved at all.
How could we have just sat
We
back
were
and do
doing the
nothing?
Lend-Lease,
They
the
took
Lend-Lease Act,
pictures.
where we were
Yeah.
helping them out,
Right.
giving stuff to you, and then.
But still, the whole world was watching this.
Yeah.
And
I know,
it's just it's.
Oh, there
I
are
can't
people
wrap
that
my
say
head around
there are
that.
people that were saying that it never happened.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
just-
it's so
and
stupid.
the
Those
president,
people are idiots.
they're
the
retarded.
president said, take pictures, and he took pictures of everything because he said sometime in the future someone will say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was right.
Yeah.
So they have all the photographs of the people like skeletons.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
When I went to
Horrible.
Dachau, it was horrible. And the weird thing is, when you cross the gate into the yard, into there, it's dead silent. You can't
I'm
hear
sure.
anything. There's not. You don't hear birds chirping.
deafening, yeah.
You don't. And you see traffic going by and stuff. You don't hear it.
Chilling.
It's
Yeah.
It's so
Ooh.
so.
Is it
eerie.
like down, like in a valley, sort of? Like,
No,
what?
it's you just walk into it, and then the building is shaped like a horseshoe, like a big U, and you just go through it and you just read about the shit they did to and that was Dachau was like the blueprint for all the other ones. That was the first concentration camp, and then they built off the other ones, and you just read the shit that they did to people. And it was majority of it was Jewish people.
It was others too.
It was everyone, though.
There was
If there's anyone that
gypsies,
didn't
there was
go along with-
You know who were the biggest badasses? They had the biggest trouble with Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses were the biggest.
They were
problem.
never home. They were knocking on people's doors. They wouldn't round them up.
They were the biggest problems in the concentration camps because their faith would not wane. They would just like nope.
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And that's why they're the way they are now. That's why when they're like, no, I don't want to talk to you, they'll put that foot in the door and be like, listen, motherfucker,
come on back, yeah.
we survived that cow. Now we're coming here to
crazy shit,
you
man.
up.
There's a museum. I forgot exactly where it is. It's on Long Island, and it has a lot of woods and trails in the back. And I remember going to see, like at the end of it, they had the real actual baby shoes, little baby shoes, that when they would throw people into the ovens.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't want to, they wanted to save the
Oh, they
clothes and
reused
stuff.
the
Oh, my
So they had
God.
the baby
Aw.
shoes, in a case of one of the babies that they threw into the
Yeah.
oven.
In Dachau,
That- I
they
was
have,
like, that
they
was
have
disturbing.
the shower that they would put in, but the showers never function. Then they have three ovens, and each oven has three, I don't know what you would put,
Racks.
oven in the racks in there that they were putting people in. And then around that was, you had to take your clothes off and put them in this, they told it was like a cubby, but it was a furnace, and they would just burn the clothes. Because they would keep them, you would go months without showering, with nothing. And then they were like, oh my God, great news. You get to take a shower today. And you oh my God, I finally go. They had bunk beds that had 2 people per bunk. And they were sleeping on like straw. And it was just like, great news, you get to take a shower today. You got to take it with a bunch of other people, but you get to take a shower. Oh my God, I got to take a shower.
And they
Thank God.
just murdered them.
They just murdered them.
It's fantastic.
Fucked. Really fucked. Let's change the subject.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
really.
change the
Let's talk
subject.
about
You
something
were
a little
talking
more
about
up.
me talking about sad
We
stuff.
took
I
a
didn't bring
real
that up.
Weird turn.
Yeah, let's just
That was
let's all
You got to
think
talk, but you
about
have
and-
to talk about this shit
That was
because
real.
Yes.
Well, what's really fucked
it
up
makes you
is
realize how lucky we are.
well, they
That's
looked
right,
at
and when
they
people-
looked at the U.S. how we fucking wrangled the Native Americans, and that's how they built the concentration camps. They were like, oh, they did a
Yeah.
really good job at exterminating those people. No joke. Read a fucking.
Oh, man. Telling me to read a book.
So you're
Howard
saying
Zinn,
the
he was-
Nazis based their camps off of how we based our camps? with
Yeah, how
Native
the
Americans?
reservation camps. Yeah, absolutely.
Native American
Yeah.
reservations.
Mhm.
That's
yeah. They looked at how we our logistics.
how we slaughtered an indigenous people. Not me. I'm first
we,
generation.
We.
Just be honest.
I'm Jewish, so I wasn't even around.
I'm
All
first
right.
generation in this country. My ancestors had nothing to do with it.
You can't be held responsible for that.
Yeah, no,
I'm just
yeah.
letting everybody know.
We don't get grandfathered into the fucking
Yeah.
sadness.
But
Fuck.
it has nothing. That was it. We were olive farmers.
All right. Well, I ask everybody. Let's change the subject.
Yes,
How do you
let's
feel
do
about
dead.
the dead? How do you feel you
dead?
are you
so we're gonna go
connected
from
to the
concentration
dead?
camps
No.
to the dead.
Ghosts.
Do you feel connected to the dead? Do you think that there's ever once you leave this earth, are you done?
All right.
Is there a higher plane?
Is that your last call?
I don't know what's out there. Like,
Well, none of us know. What do you think?
I don't believe in organized religion.
Okay.
Do I believe in God? I don't think there's a God. I hope there is.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
What do you feel when you close your eyes?
Let me tell you something. I'm
wait,
going to
wait.
share a story with you. My wife's grandmother lived with us before she died.
Okay.
She had Alzheimer's. She lived with us for probably 2-3 years, whatever. And it was great having her around. Great having her around. Now she died right before my last daughter was born.
Okay.
And I don't believe in any of this stuff.
Okay.
My wife's all into this, you know, like, you know, the Long
Stars
Island psychic, all that
aligning
type
with you,
of shit.
shit.
You know, she's very religious into that. I don't believe any of this. I'm logical, you know. It's not, if I can't touch it and see it, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
So my daughter's 3 years old. I'm ironing my shirt for work, getting ready, go out or whatever. And my little 3-year-old's just looking up at the wall and just talking. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's talking. Yes, Nan, I know that Poppy was there. And then I'm like, Jess,
something.
Yeah.
Jess, I'm like, look at this. And she's like, And she's talking and having a fucking conversation. And I've got chills now because I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, well, she's just a kid. Kids talk.
Yeah.
You know, they just talk to themselves all the time. Now, my daughter never met Nanny. She never met Nanny's husband, her Poppy. Never. My wife takes a picture. She goes, who's that? She goes, oh, that's Nanny.
Yeah.
And oh, look, it's Poppy.
Oh, I got the
that's-
chills. That's crazy.
That's
something.
Poppy. I talked to Poppy.
That's why I asked this
was like,
question, guys.
Whoa.
My little niece, same thing.
Freaked me
Yeah,
out.
it's weird. That's
you
weird.
think.
My little niece, same thing. She was always talking when now she's 9 or whatever, but when she was like 2 and 3 years old, she'd be in her room giggling and stuff. And who you talk to? Oh, Happy Joe. It's my friend, Happy Joe. He comes in and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we showed her a picture of my grandfather who had passed away 20 years ago. And she's like, yeah, Happy Joe, that's him.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I don't want to believe. I'm
Yeah,
not those
but-
people who want to believe, but how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Because it
And you
happened.
sound crazy when you tell, because you tell that story like, oh yeah, what the fuck were you like, but when it happens to you, you're like, it's really crazy.
I don't say this to a lot of people. and
I've never told anyone that story. I told
don't-
one other person
Oh,
that
wow.
story before.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
thank
say
you
this.
for sharing it with
I don't
us.
say this to a lot of people, and I'm going
Gonna
to
say
say
it
it
in
on
front of
camera.
1,000
But
people.
I actually see ghosts a lot. So
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
but you,
yeah.
but you also you do
Yeah.
a lot of cocaine.
yeah, but that's that's what makes that's what makes them go away.
What do you mean?
Okay, so
What
the last
kind-
encounter I had,
You need to talk to my wife
Oh,
because
yeah.
she's on that same. My
I
wife is
can't-
very open to that
I
stuff.
can't communicate with them. I just see them,
And Kristen Tinsley.
and since
I wish Jessica was here right now.
Since I was-
she's got. I don't mean to interrupt. She's got a story. It's gonna freaking
It's gonna
it'll
top
blow
yours.
your head off. I don't want to tell it.
ever,
I'll let her tell it. It'll
ever
blow your
since
head
I
off.
was a
We'll
little
have her
kid,
back.
ever since I was a little kid, it's happened. The last time I was in my house, my house that I live in now, and I was washing the dishes, and I just turned, and there was a little girl standing there.
that's scary.
Standing up, and I went like this, and I said, "Don't do that." And then I looked, and she was gone, and I haven't seen her since.
I see dead
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Can you talk to them?
No. I can't hear what I can see, and everybody thinks I'm a nuts now for saying it. But
I don't think you're nuts
But-
because my wife.
ever since I was a little kid,
You have to have Jessica in here. with
yeah.
her. You have to. She loves you, by the way.
Oh,
She
I love her
absolutely
too.
loves you. She loves you too. But it's an amazing story, and like I said, I live in the land of logic. I don't believe in that. But
Right.
when I saw it and witnessed it,
Yeah.
I'm like, my daughter's like, how does she know it? 3? Like, it's the craziest, scariest, creepiest thing. You
It
gotta
hap-
harness that.
it exists.
You have to
That's
harness
well,
that.
yeah.
That's
That's
cool.
the thing. That's the thing. It's why
I don't
children.
know how to. It just kind of freaks me out. a
Talk to
little
what's
bit.
her name? I'm sure she'd help you. The Long Island psychic. Her
Yeah,
daughter's always here all the time.
yeah, I know, but it's I don't
Research
want to
computer
bug her
will
with that
fucking
shit.
help you out.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners was helping me because I remember I was talking about that place. I recommend you go look at it. It's right here on Long Island. It's called Wellwyn Preserve in Glen Cove.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
I've
not
heard of
far
it.
from the Glen Cove mansion.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So if you haven't
What are we
been
killing
there,
Jews over there?
No, they have a museum about.
Oh,
The Holocaust.
That was a little remote location. They were fucking killing Jews.
killing
at.
Jews in Glen Cove,
No,
which is now full of Jews.
Wine dance. That's where they kill. Wine dance is where they kill the Jews. They all moved to Glen Cove. They put a wall up.
Safety. No.
Terrible.
And speaking, not to get, I don't
Speaking
want
of
to
killing Jews.
walls just popped in my head. Have you guys seen what's going on in
I love it.
California? What's going on in California?
Remind us.
Which part?
Yeah, there's a lot going
Homeless
on.
problem.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The epidemic and this
Oh yeah,
typhus.
that's a Democrat-run state.
Shitting
so
in the
there you
streets
go.
over there.
It looks like Honduras.
You
It's
know-
terrible.
That's been
You know why they haven't disconnected from the rest of the continental U.S., right?
Why?
Because there's a wingnut on every corner holding it down.
Oh my God! Please don't do that on stage.
I love Mandy.
Oh my
It's a street
God.
joke. I would never do that on stage.
I
I'm
like
only a
it.
hack here with you guys.
Did your dad tell you that? Is that?
And my dad's
Hey,
like,
Mandy,
Jack.
come in. I'll tell you a funny joke.
No, my dad wants me to do a joke about how you mail your shit in a box to get instead of getting a colonoscopy. You ever see these
Oh,
commercials?
yeah.
He's like, you got to do a joke about the mailing your shit in.
Rush Gerard
it is
does
gross.
a bit about that.
Shit, and you mail your shit. In
You
a
know,
box.
you
It's people who
smush
don't wanna
the
go to
shit. You
proctologist.
send
You
a
send a
school
sample.
sample in. You smush your shit on a stick.
You never did that? I mean, I don't do it
I
on
used to do it in high
purpose.
school all the time. I left shits in boxes everywhere for everyone. Ask people. I shat in a.
Did you light it on fire? You got to light it on fire
I never lit on
next.
fire.
I've shat in a slop.
I shat in a
Shat in
slop
a slop
sink
sink.
of a dark room in my high school.
Oh my God.
Why? Put fucking doors on the stalls, and then maybe I
they
won't shit in a
deserved it.
fucking locker in the science hallway.
You're shy. You don't want other people to see you shitting.
Who wants to see anyone shitting?
Oh, God.
I never shat in school ever. I waited till it was time to go home. And
I would run
What
to my
about
friend's
work?
house,
What
too.
about work?
Oh, at
now?
work I shit all the time.
Yeah, work.
But
No,
that's
but when you're a
different.
kid, when you're 13, 14
We
years
have a
old,
door in the stall at work.
yeah, you have
So-
a door. You don't want to be sitting there like all red with veins in my head.
Well,
and
girls' bathroom's different.
Oh,
There's
I have a
little more
story.
privacy.
I have a story. Hi, Robert Soul.
You got 3 minutes.
Okay,
And
quickly,
then we got a plug.
quickly. Now you're making me nervous.
I know, go
At
ahead.
Buffalo University, I went there for a semester and I got the hell out of there. And one of the reasons I hated there, which is where my daughter
Because people
goes,
kept shitting in the stall.
it's similar.
The slop
They,
stink.
they had the dorms
co-ed.
transferred from a boy dorm to a co-ed dorm, and
No,
and,
we got no
and
time
they
for
had
that.
one
not taking that
one
call.
long shower curtain, and all the girls had to shower together. Just to
Oh,
hold on.
Where is that?
Stop.
That's Porky's.
Can you say that again, just a little bit slower?
So we're college girls, and we all. It was
With
just
lather
the
They all
shower
got to
heads,
shower together.
Slower.
and we had to
Slower.
one long curtain, nothing
Mm-hmm.
dividing it, and we had to shower in
And
front
they
of
would
each
do
other.
They would do
And
a
then
daisy chain.
Did you
a
soap
good
each-
old daisy chain.
And
all
I would wait till 3 a.m. because I didn't want to shower in
Did
front
you
of other
soap each
girls.
other up?
No,
All right,
Soap
could you
each-
tell
not a fantasy.
Bonnie, wait.
Did you guys compare
Could you tell it
breasts?
one more time?
Ew.
A little bit slower.
Could you compare breasts?
Ew.
See?
That's like the
They
hottest
gave
thing
each
I've
other
ever
breast
heard.
exams.
They-
See, that, to me, it was a trauma.
we
You
would
think
measure
it's fine.
nipples to see who's with the longest.
Speaking of that, you were asking the difference between Italians and
And the Jews?
Irish people. Irish people have huge nipples. Italians always have like the dime nipples.
Well, now take off your shirt.
Why do you know that?
Not me. Why do I know that? I've been to the beach.
You're right.
All right.
Oh, it's
I never
You
noticed
got
that.
German friends, you got Irish friends, quarter nipples. You got some Italian
Irish
friends.
guys got the little ones.
And then Italians got the little
we
tight
have to-
nipples.
we have
Nice.
to plug our stuff.
Plug.
You go first. Do
That
you have
was the
anything you want to
science of
plug?
the
What-
Nothing that.
What about your
about your web show?
Next week you can see us on Facebook, on live Facebook, whatever, undisclosed.
Undisclosed.
Darren.
We're
Darren and
back-
George Gallo.
We're back on our schedule. We took a couple of weeks off for
Nice.
shows. It's hard with the you guys know with the holidays.
of
It's
course.
tough, but we'll be on next week. Myself and George Gallo. We'll have more guests coming up, and we got some. We're trying to get more new software and stuff, and a lot of good things happening.
Nice.
A lot
Nice.
of fun. And
Good.
we have a big. Well, I don't want to say it.
Okay.
I'll say
Good,
it.
good.
You good,
But
Bonnie?
it's
Oh, I have a show tomorrow on Jaundice, whatever the hell that is.
Jaundice Street.
Jaundice in
Where the
Oceanside
lepers are.
at 7:00, and then I'm going to be here on Limo Talk, Graz,
nice.
later, and then Kristen Tinsley's birthday bash at Coasters at 8:30 on Friday. This Friday.
All right. And December 20th, that's next Friday, you could see myself along with Terry McNeely and Bonnie and Mandy
And
right
you.
here. I said myself. Right here in the little room at Governor's here in Levittown. Go to www.govs.com for tickets. Make sure you specify you want the little room because sometimes it gets mixed up. So specify that. Get them quick. Last month the show sold out. So if you want to see it, get it quick. All right. I want to thank Darren for coming in
Thank
tonight.
you,
Thank you for
Darren
having me,
is
guys.
so much
one
for being here.
Rdillon.
You got it.
Yes.
Darren
I want to
Dillon,
thank you all
find him
out
on the
there for
internet.
supporting Three's Company. Have a great night. Next week, JP from the Roger and JP show from 102.3 WBAB will be our guest. Make sure you tune in to see that. We'll see you all next week.
Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
Safe,
Bye-bye.
guys. We love you.
Thank you.